Okay, so I figure I will give a tour of my little building that I have out here and share what Maestro eats. So here's the building. It's just my size. There's a little hay net there for him to pull the hay out of. Then stack the hay up on these pallets so they're up off the ground and they don't get wet. Have fence posts here when I was using temporary fence. Here's the grain bin. He eats Equine Junior Purina brand. It's about, from where I get it, it's about $25-ish plus tax. It's a little more expensive than some other places, but the way I see it is I'm paying for convenience. I'm not having to spend the gas to drive somewhere else to get the food. So it's right by me, where I live. Here's my little drawer thing. Has papers, lead ropes, dewormer. You can see the mustard, hot sauce, and vinegar mix. I use that to put on the fence so he wouldn't eat the fence. But he actually likes that mustard, hot sauce, and vinegar stuff. So I stopped using that. But he really likes alfalfa cubes. And they come in big chunks like this, and you have to like peel it so they won't choke on it. And like make smaller pieces. And that big bag was $2. Yeah, this is my little poop bucket. Put his poop in it, try to keep the pasture clean, because I learned in my class that a lot of different flies and bugs and just nasty stuff grows in poop piles, so you just gotta clean all that stuff up. Here's my tack, brushes, shampoo, crops, treats, boots, all that stuff. Lovely stuff. Then this right here is beet pulp that I give him. I was giving it to him to keep weight on him and provide him with a little bit more energy over the winter. And I give him a quart of beet pulp. So each one of these scoops is 3 quarts. So a third of this. And then I go to his water trough and get a quart to 2 quarts of water and mix it in with the beet pulp. Beet pulp has to be soaked before you feed it to them. So I always do that when I first get here. So no matter when I'm ending, the beet pulp will be nice and soaked by the time I get ready to give it to him. And along with the beet pulp, he gets 1 scoop of grain a day, well, twice a day, and I pour just a little bit of corn oil in it to get him to shed out nicely and be shiny and slick and help his coat. It provides him with omega-3s and fatty acids and stuff like that, so he'll be nice and shiny. He's being a little squirrel right now, so I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, that's the building, and that's what he eats now. So another important thing that I think a lot of people just don't realize or just choose to ignore is procedure as far as dealing with horses. They want to just go out there and jump on them and ride them, or go out there and start working them in the round pen. But I think, well, I guess routine is a better word. There should be some kind of consistency, especially when working with a baby. Consistency, you know, in how you approach them and what you do every day. So the thing that I do every time I come out here is I start off by grooming them, brushing them down, brushing his mane out, brushing his tail, and picking out his feet, just so that he knows, all right, we about to start working, you know, let me get my life together, because I know I'm about to be put to work. And granted, he might not want to be put to work, but no horse is going to turn down grooming. Sorry, the camera's zooming in and out. I'm trying to multitask. But yeah, so brushing him down, getting his winter coat out with this curry comb, and I'll show you how I pick his feet in a second. So in Maestro's previous pre-Lewisburg life, he's known as a kicker, you know. We're working on that, right? Yeah, we're working on that. So when I groom him and stuff, I like to walk behind him. I'll walk behind him and bump him a little bit. I think combing out his tail, grabbing his tail and combing that out, see, Buffy, is definitely helps him out when as far as people being behind him and touching on his back end. He did not like his back end to even be looked at when I first got him, so we're definitely working on that. Combing his tail, like I said in the first video, I love a pretty horse, so try to make sure he looks nice while he's out here, regardless of if we're training or not, if I just came out here to feed him or whatever. So just kind of bump into him, get him to move and stuff, and make sure that he's okay with it, not gonna flip out. Isn't that right? Look in the mouth. Oh my gosh, you didn't try to kill me, so everything's all right. So now I'm going to show how I pick his feet. Start on this side, like I said, with routine, being consistent, starting on the same side. I usually try to anyway. Yeah, and as far as walking under him, he's a little, he paws sometimes, so walking under him, I want him to get used to things, brushing past his chest, brushing past his feet, and him knowing that he doesn't have to kick at it. So as far as picking up his foot, here's his foot. I like things to be voice command. A lot of people may squeeze, you see, be still. A lot of people will squeeze his cannon or twist their chestnut. Maestro doesn't like those things. He's a little special. So I just come down here and say up, 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 and he lifts it. Now he's lazy too, so I have to lift it a little bit. So now I'll just show how to pick his hoof out. I gotta use both hands, so I'm not gonna be talking. Hold on. So yeah, don't know how much you saw of that, but just try to get all the crud out of there. Don't know if you can tell, but, and then I try to move his foot around like the farrier would and place it back down. And it's important that you pick out their feet because they may have rocks and stuff in their hoofs, and it applies pressure. And it hurts when you're asking them to lunge in a circle or walk over boards and stuff. It's pressure on their feet. So you make sure that you pick their feet out, pick their hoofs out before doing any kind of hard labor.